introduced to, which I still thought I didn't have a drinking problem, but I look back today and I really did. But I was introduced to a drug that just took me over, took me away from my family, took me away from my new husband, took me out of myself, just took me away. And that's all that I had on my mind forever. In the morning, at night, in the afternoon, anytime. For 17 years. In that 17 years, I learned about different jails in different states and different cities, including here. Used people, abused people whenever I could to get that drug. After already doing my family in very bad and stealing from them and anything else I could do. You know, I used to say that I did everything but go on the street and hook like a lot of girls I have met today that have went through that process because of that drug, because of what that drug did to them. But in other ways, to be honest with you, we did. I did. I sold my body in different ways, maybe not on the street, but in other ways. So, after 17 years of stubbornness, I'm stubborn, 17 years, I finally got tired. But I didn't have nowhere to go, nothing to do, no one to turn to. I thought I had two choices. There's somebody in the audience tonight that knows those two choices I had. Those two choices was, in my life, get it over with. I didn't want to live anymore. Or pull into a hospital like I did 15 years prior to that and got help one time. The longest clean time I ever had in that 17 years was 7.5 months in the OCJ. 62 days when I went to a 30-day treatment plan. And that's it. You know, day here, day there from being in jail. Maybe 10 days when I stayed 10 days in jail one time. But that's it. That was the only clean time I had in 17 years. I was tired. I don't know how to express to you how tired I was. And I had nobody. I didn't even have me. I didn't even have me. I didn't know what to do. So, I went and got more crack. I knew the dealer. I knew I could get $500 at a time. And I was in a pickup truck. Got a bottle of whiskey. Went to my friend's, she sold pills. Went and took 80 of them because she didn't care about hiding them from me because I never took them before. But I think it was 80 they told me I took. I don't know. And throughout that day, that's all I did. And I kept cruising St. Joseph Hospital because that was the first place I had went for help many, many years ago. Well, I never pulled the truck in to get help. I kept driving until I ran out of money. So I went to my old place where I used to work to see if I could break in. I put my hand on the glass. I no sooner tapped that glass and a cop pulled up right along beside the restaurant. And I ran. I hopped in the truck and I fled. And I did all kinds of wrong things. I hit a fire hydrant. I hit a cop car. I don't know what all I did or who all I hit, because I don't even remember all of it. The last thing I remember was I think I was laying on the pavement and I heard an officer telling another officer that he did a good job. And the next thing I know, I woke up in Pontiac Osteopathic Hospital. They told me that I died on M23. That I was very, very thankful that I should be alive, but I wasn't. I was angry. I did not want to live. And in my sleep, I saw a gray mist, and I saw a shape of a head. So when the doctors came in to see me, I asked them if anybody was here to see me when I was out of it for a few days on a ventilator. And they said, yes. Your family was here, and your oldest son stayed here until he knew you were okay, and he left. And that's who I visualized. I asked if he was there. So I still had nobody. They were gone. So I didn't eat. I didn't shower. I wouldn't get out of bed except to go use the bathroom. For 3 days in the hospital. I did not want to live. I did not know how to take my life, but I did not want to live. Still. Then a nurse came up, a male nurse that I'm going to go overtime. Then a nurse came up that I didn't know. It was a male nurse. And he said, you have nowhere to go, do you? And I said, no, I don't. He said, sit right here until I take my break. He said, and then he said, I'm going to go with you, but I'm going to take you to the mission. They don't have a bed for you. I want you to walk right back into emergency and tell them you got chest pains. Do not go anywhere else. He ordered me. He was bossing me around, which I was following. So I went to the mission. They took me. They saw I was in a zombie state, so they didn't make me go outside like they made the rest. And then some team captain or something came in there, and she got a volunteer to come take me to Common Grounds. Common Grounds took me to a crisis hospital, which was called Henry Home. I stayed there for 30 days. In that 30 days, I realized I'm not dying. I can't even take my own life. Why? You know, and we would share that in group. And I had this one lady in there that I spent a lot of time with. Her name was Sal. She said, do you ever pray? And I said, no. I wouldn't even know how to pray. So she said, let me help you. She taught me, showed me how to pray. She told me every time I went into my room or went into the bathroom to say my prayer, maybe the same one, it didn't matter, but to say my prayer and talk to God and feel it from the heart. I did that for about 3 days, and something overcame me, a warmth in the bathroom that told me I wanted to live, that there was a reason why I needed to continue living, and I wanted to see my family someday, and I wanted to see my kids and my grandkids. So this lady Sal and I decided we wanted some long-term treatment. So the lady that did it there was new. So her and I got on the phone, got the numbers and names of places where to go. And the only place we could find that had the longest time we could stay there and get treatment and get help was Sequoia. And I never heard of it, even though Pontiac was my place to go get a lot of stuff. Never heard of Sequoia. So then I found out where it was, and I only lived 3 blocks from it for months. Anyhow, we decided to go there because it was long-term. And so I went there on October 3rd, 2003, on a Friday. And on that Sunday, a church bus pulled up, and only one guy out of the men's treatment. The women's treatment was behind the men's treatment house. The greenhouse on Palmer was women. Only one guy from men hopped on that bus. And there was only 3 women in treatment, and I was the only one that hopped on that bus. I just wanted to go and check it out. I figured I had time to kill. I didn't know what else to do, but I was going to go. I walked in that door right there, and I never felt such. Of course, the place looked different. The chairs were all these folding chairs. They were all faced that way. Paul was up on a podium up there when he did speak. We had choir up there. But when I came in this room, the people that greeted me, I felt comfortable. I felt welcomed. They didn't even have to talk. I just felt something. And so I started coming. And all I didn't have a shepherd's program to go to. All I had at that time was going to church on Sunday and Wednesday. But I had a couple of girls in 3/4 that were with me in 3/4 that we studied the Bible a little bit together. They answered a lot of my questions.